We'll have to give a little bit of a moment for the dance to begin. Sorry, I'm going to call the VIPs on stage first to the podium. And the stage party, ladies and gentlemen, starting with His Worship the Mayor, Mr. John Tory. Up here, please, sir. Then we have Mr. Oh, that was a nice pose there. And Mr. Tory has a slight dip. I think that's the Achilles tendon, right? I saw that on TV. But that's no excuse not to play. Then I call on Mr. Adam Vaughan, MP for Trinity Spadina. Very much interested in cricket and has played for many, many years in these games. Thank you, sir, for coming. Mr. Amal Ratnayaka, the newly appointed chair of the SEMA Global Chair. Congratulations again, Amal, and thank you for being here. Then Mr. Martin Buckle, the man who always is in a jacket, but not today. It's too hot for him. And he is the chair, SEMA Canada. Then Mr. Mahesh Vikramasinghe, Executive Vice President, Canadian Tire Corporation, who does a lot of work for the school cricket program. Mahesh, thanks for being here. Mr. Phil Wester, President and CEO of Metrolinx. He makes the city move. Mr. Ken Jeffers, Toronto Police Services Board, always been a good friend of ours. And lastly but not least, Inspector James Mackerel on behalf of the Police Chief of Police. We need him here to keep law and order, of course. So be careful how you behave, all right? And now we will have the Rusara Rangara, the Rangara Performing Arts, directed by Rashanti Hettiarachchi, performing for your entertainment. Off we go. Thank you. Well done, ladies. That was wonderful. And that was a traditional dance performance done in Sri Lanka, in the hills of Sri Lanka. And normally we do these kind of things in Sri Lanka to invoke blessings, good blessings, and of course we got good weather, that's a blessing. And well done again, girls. Thank you very much. And now, one thing, if you are watching the footwork, that's what you got to use when you play cricket, all right? Amazing footwork. All right. Now, I call upon a young lady to perform the Canadian National Anthem, and it's Miss Vidya Manohara.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. Catombra se porte le paix, il se porte la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée de plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well, good day, everybody, and what a great day it is, and we are blessed with good weather, and I want you to know how happy I always am to come to this event. It's something that I marked down early in the year in my calendar, and for a bunch of reasons, but one of them is that cricket in Toronto now, in the Toronto of 2019, is bringing together many, many people. When I went to the student competition awards just maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago at Western Tech, they had their now schools from areas that have probably never played cricket before, kids that have never thought of playing cricket, and they're playing. And so cricket is something that's bringing people together in the city of Toronto, like the Raptors did. And that's so important, to bring people together in a big, diverse city like this. By the way, I've been asked this morning about why I'm not still wearing that Raptors jacket, and it's been retired until next spring at this time. It had to go to the dry cleaners. I'm not sure it'll survive the dry cleaners, the fine material that it's made out of, but nonetheless, that's why I'm not wearing it. May I say how pleased I am as well to be here with Adam Vaughan. It's kind of good news and bad news when Adam comes to this event. The bad news is he actually knows how to play cricket, so he shows people like me up in the short demonstration game that we'll put on. The good news is he's been a great partner for Toronto. He's been in Parliament fighting for this city, and for example, his Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, his leader, got us $1 billion for repair of our housing stock in Toronto, and that was something that Adam worked very hard on. May I just say that I'm really pleased that our TTC and our police, who do so much great work for us every day in the city, have teams in here. I think they'll lay a licking on the Metrolinx team, which Phil Verster, I guess, is going to probably head up. But having said all that, I want to thank them for participating, and I want to thank our park staff, who always do a great job of making sure that the pitch here is in good shape for this tournament. I should tell you, I asked them about opening that building, which we've used in previous years, but it's not in a great state of repair. It's needing to be fixed, and if you knew some of the things that could have happened if we'd gone in there, which involved things backing up into the building, if you get my drift, it would have been most unpleasant. So it's better that it should be the way it is. May I say thank you to all those who've been involved in organizing this over the years. This is now the 15th year. It's the 100th year of SEMA, which is a wonderful anniversary, and what better way to celebrate that anniversary than to have the first ever Canadian president of SEMA. And that's a great accomplishment for him, but it's also a great accomplishment for Canada. And so, Amal, I want to just say congratulations and best wishes for a great job to be done. You know, the city, which has been a partner in this too, and the SEMA have made it possible for 6,000 young cricketers to play cricket in schools, and we see that when we go to that award ceremony, and that's a great thing for kids, and it's a great thing for the city. The only other thank you I want to offer is to Canadian Tire. I have a chance in my job to go around and I see all the good works that Canadian Tire is doing. And I went, for example, within the last month or so to a fantastic new playground that is accessible for kids who have differing abilities. And what a sight of joy that is. And they entirely financed it, the Canadian Tire, one of their foundations. And I just want to say that thank you to Canadian Tire and to all of its foundations and so on for all the good work you do in the city, including supporting this event. So I hope everybody has a good time. Now I want to just put on the record here, especially to Adam and to Phil, I do have an Achilles tendon that is in need of surgery this summer. You'll see I'll be having surgery. I'll be at only half strength today. And I know that's powerful, even at half strength, but I'll be at half strength today. But I will go out and try and bat a couple of balls around, and we'll see if we can have some fun. But congratulations. Thank you to the volunteers. Thank you to my friend Ken Jeffers from the police board, who's always here as well. And I hope everybody has a fun day. Thanks very much.
Thank you, sir. Well, about the Achilles tendon, the way you danced after the Raptors won didn't show any problem then.
Good point.
So you can get away with it. All right, next up, I call upon Mr. Martin Buckle, Chair, SEMA Canada.
Thanks, Amaresh. His name is Amaresh when you want to do the complaints. Okay. And thank you, Mayor Tory, for gracing us with your presence once again. I should note that you supported this tournament before becoming mayor and then being re-elected mayor. Adam Vaughan also supported this tournament before being elected councillor and then being elected a federal MP. And Amal supported this tournament for years before being elected president of SEMA. So there's a bit of a theme. For all of you who support this tournament, there's no end to your ambition, so bear that in mind. There's another theme as well, which is Ranil keeps asking me to talk at cricket events. And the last time was just after England were unexpectedly thrashed by Pakistan in the World Cup. Pakistan hadn't won in 10 games and then thrashed England. And then he asked me to speak again today, and we were unexpectedly thrashed by Sri Lanka yesterday. So I'm not speaking at cricket events ever again, particularly if we're going to be playing Australia in any tournaments anytime soon, Adam. As the mayor mentioned, it's 15 years that we've been doing this, and I wanted to thank some of those people who've been there since the beginning. Ken Jeffers, when he was at the city's Parks, Recreation and Forestry Division, has been supporting us all the way through. He's now at Toronto Police Services Board and is as passionate now as he has been all the way through. So thank you very much, Ken. I'd like to thank Blaine Felix. I'd like to thank Blaine Felix and all the city staff who do such a fantastic job of making this awesome facility ready for us. As the mayor mentioned, we're missing the pavilion this year, but I understand there's $1 billion coming our way, so so we're fine on that front. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Canadian Tire, and in particular Mahes Wickramasinghe, Bombardier Aerospace for their generous sponsorship, Philip Crawley from the Globe and Mail, who's been here since, I think they used to write the Globe and Mail by hand when Philip started in business. And back to Adam Vaughan for a second, the MP for Trinity Spadina. He was actually a reporter and played in the City TV team, I think, the first year. Adam is of Australian extraction, as you may have guessed from that thing. So Adam, I think, I'll take a lead from the Mayor and from our Prime Minister. Maybe we'll have a little wager, and I'll give you something from England, and you can give me something nice from Australia, depending on how things work out.
Give me the ashes.
I'll give you the ashes back. So thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you all the sponsors, the players, the families, the dancers, and I'll hand you back to Amaresh for the next session.
Thank you, Martin. And next up is the SEMA Global Chair, Mr. Amal Ratnayaka, who is taking SEMA to the forefront.
Thank you, Amaresh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mayor John Tory, MP Adam Vaughan, thank you so much for joining us today. It's such a great day to be here. It's a wonderful day for cricket, and I'm sure we'll have a fantastic time out on the field. I had the privilege of being involved in organizing the first of the SEMA Mayor's Trophy tournaments in 2005. Yes, this is the 15th year this event has been organized, and it has grown so much year on year. This event has been made possible because of lots of corporate partnerships. Bell Canada, Rogers, Scotiabank, CIBC, George Weston are some of those that have supported us in the past. And in the last few years, Canadian Tire and the Jumpstart Foundation has been a very, very close partner, the lead sponsor. And this sponsorship and this partnership, as well as some of the previous partnerships, came about because of one of our very own SEMA members, SEMA medalist, silver medalist, Mahes Wickramasinghe. This event has been graced by 3 mayors, politicians of all stripes, and many media organizations over the year. And this event has led off to spin-off programs like the SEMA School Cricket Tournament. And as Mayor John Tory mentioned, it has engaged with 6,000 school children over this period, and it's still growing. And this program teaches leadership through sports to all these young people. Our members globally are very active in the communities where they live and work, and in Toronto and Canada, it's no different. The SEMA Mayor's Trophy has been recognized by no other than the ICC, the International Cricket Council. And of course, as with any event, the success is because of the volunteerism of a few people. So let's give a hand to Ranil Mendis and his team of volunteers for all the great work that they do. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's enjoy a great day of cricket. Thank you.
Thank you, Amal. And next we have Mr. Adam Vaughan, Member of Parliament, and I'm sure he's going to arrange that game in Ottawa, right? All right.
Well, thank you very much. They keep referencing the fact that my family's Australian. Of course we are. But the only thing I can really do like an Australian cricketer is sledge, so be careful. It's done me well in the House of Commons. My heckling is really top of the tables, but yes, I bowl like a batsman, I bat like a bowler. So be careful out there. No, I just want to look at SEMA has done extraordinary work in the city. When I was a kid growing up, we played cricket once a year at my high school when they had the UNESCO Festival. And about 6 or 7 of us who knew which end of the wicket to stand at when the ball was coming would get together and play. And now the high school that I used to go to has 2 teams. There is a school not too far from here in Thorncliffe that when they had this grade 6 tryout, they had 600 kids come out for the tryout. Think of that, 600 kids trying out for a single school sport in one grade school. And that was the grade 6 team. You could have put 15 teams together in a league there. The reality is that many of our families brought the love of cricket and the skills to this country that that we see pitched out on wickets right across the GTA day in and day out, but to see the kids picking up the sport, seeing kids in this country being developed and put on the world stage and playing in some of the best countries of the world is in large part because SEMA decided that it was time to make sure that cricket was played everywhere in the city, and in particular pushed cricket into the schools in a way that I don't think I've ever seen a service organization ever deliver sport and culture simultaneously. And I want to say to Renil in particular, that your contribution to Canadian cricket is one of the most extraordinary gifts our country's ever received. And to SEMA, who have supported you through that process, I know you've received awards, but I think that all you have to do is see some kids playing in a park and know that SEMA's played a role in giving them that afternoon. And so thanks very much for that. And as for the other teams that are playing here today, the mayor mentioned $1.3 billion for TCHC, but they've got so much money now they're fixing housing, they don't have a team here today. I'm surprised because we gave $4.9 billion to the TTC, and yet they seem to have so much money. They have a super squad here today. And I just have to say, as a longtime rival of the Toronto Police Service, we gave them money too, but we expect you to win today. Australians are always partisan. And I have no jokes for the rest of you because we beat the rest of you in the World Cup, so your joke stands anytime. England always gets thrashed. You know, it has nothing to do with you, I assure you. Have a great day at cricket. As I told you, I sledged like an Australian.
Thank you, Mr. Vaughan. Next, we introduce you to Mr. Mahesh Wickramasinghe, Executive Vice President of the Canadian Tire Corporation. Mahesh is up here. Please, thank you.
Thank you very much. I have nothing much to say because everyone's been thanked, except that Amal mentioned that silver medal, if it's worth anything, I'll be happy to contribute towards the building fund. Thank you very much. I've been involved with this from day one, so I guess 15 years, and 5 years Canadian Tire has been involved along with Sport Check. We are quite proud, Canadian Tire and Check, to support sport in Canada. Including children with disabilities, as the mayor mentioned. So we're quite proud to be supportive, and thanks everyone for making this happen. Ken Jeffers has been there from day one, and I want to thank him. Thanks for mentioning Amal, who's a key player. This wouldn't happen without him doing a lot of hard work behind the scenes. Thank you very much. Thanks to the mayor, who's been supportive of this even before he became the mayor. Thank you very much. Have a good day of cricket. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mahesh, and keep up the good work. Next, we call upon the member from the Police Services Board, who keeps looking younger and younger every year, Mr. Ken Jeffers.
Thank you so much. 16 years ago, in the city of Toronto, Renil and I sat with the mayor's office to organize a conference on cricket, to begin where we are now, which is the annual Mayor's Cricket Team. And Renil is a bundle of energy, and we sat there, and now we used to have the pavilion. It was then called the Pavilion. So I hope next year we can talk about the SEMA Pavilion. All right. And the journey has been incredible. It has been incredible. I mean, as was mentioned before, a number of young people went to Sri Lanka, the UK, Trinidad and Tobago, and it goes on and on. And for all of the corporations that are listening, this year there was the Jamaican representative of the Jamaican government invited the team to come there. So we're just waiting on the check. So who's listening? So. But this has been an incredible experience, and I'm extremely proud to be part of all of this. And, the contribution that SEMA has made is one of the best kept secrets that we've had. And we have to open the secret to everyone else, because the growth of cricket can be directly attributed to SEMA and the work that, as we've mentioned before, Renil and others. I mean, all of the other contributors of SEMA are here, still here. So that sustenance is really an indication that we're doing the right thing. So thank you so much, and enjoy the day.
Thank you, Mr. Jeffers. Next up is the CEO of Metrolinx, President and CEO of Metrolinx, Mr. Phil Worcester.
Thank you very much, Amrish.
I would like to echo what the mayor said. This is such a special occasion, and when you see how it brings all of the different communities together, it is fantastic. Cricket is amazing, and for SEMA and all of the sponsors have played a role in this. 10 out of 10, and wonderful and great stuff over the last couple of years. However, I'd like to just the uninformed Australian that made these silly comments about the TTC. Good heavens, do you know that Metrolinx beat the pants off the TTC last year? They destroyed the TTC. Seriously, the atmosphere during the day and the sportsmanship amongst the players is something to experience. And to all of the players today, have a fantastic day. It's fantastic to see you all again this year, and enjoy the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Webster. And last but not least, it's Inspector James Mackerel.
Hello, folks. On behalf of our Chief of Police, thank you very much and welcome here. I'm just going to tell you one little short story, and I won't take up any more of your time. Many years ago, there was a Justice of the Peace by the name of Richard Munjum, and he had done that job for a long time. And I was present for when he came into the station to release a young man, a youth, who had committed a crime. And he asked him a very strange question that I'd never heard anybody ask before, is, are you now or have you ever been a member of an organization such as Boy Scouts, boys clubs, girls clubs, SEMA, cricket? And I asked him later, why does he ask that? He says, just a little survey I've done from day one. I've yet to have a yes answer. So that just tells me that people like you are making a difference in this city. We live in a very safe city, and it's not because of what we do at our end. That's when we have to put the handcuffs on someone, that's a failure on behalf of the city. All the millions of people that have gone through the city who've never seen a pair of handcuffs are because of people like you, and thank you very much. We don't go a day without noticing that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Inspector Mackerel. And those are the speeches. That's done. And soon we will be getting on to the cricket. But before that, I must thank each and every one of you for being here today. The players, the wives who have come here to support the husbands, the children, and everyone else. So have a good day of cricket, and hope you'll enjoy. And very soon we will have the coin toss between the Mayor, Mr. John Tory, and Mr. Mahesh Wickramasinghe. And may the best team win. All right, thank you.